Okay, could you man fill me in now, please? Can I get some food, please?
So we worked out apparently that it's Chunker and Frog that have sold the lab. Well, they were trying to steal the lab.
How do we work that out? And what was the other name that I heard a minute ago?
Miguel's gone through a series of investigations, interrogations with members of Seaside, and then John, late last night.
John who?
John Seaside John.
John Joyce?
Admitted, yeah, it's gone and admitted to Miguel that it's them that are looking for the lab.
Mini thing for the 6 months. It's Seaside looking for the lab. When you say it's them, it's
Chunker and Frog.
Okay, and John's aware of that.
They're aware of it, but like I said, I don't know how close them two people were into Seaside or affiliated with Seaside, but it's very, very evident to me, and I'm sure James will agree, that them people have been extremely, all of a sudden become very, very distant from Seaside by Seaside as soon as we worked out it was them. It's almost like they've been thrown under the bus.
Well, yeah, they don't want wars, do they? And they know we're warm.
We just had a conversation with KJ. Steve and James don't agree with the way that you know I dealt with it, which is fine. You know,
it is what it is. But what was said in that meeting?
So basically, we know it's Chunker and Frog that are going for it.
Okay.
What we were trying to work out is if Seaside actually, had actually, what's it called? Lied, basically.
And what did we get from that? What did we get from the meeting?
Well, he's pretty much saying he doesn't know anything.
Unexpected.
Yeah. And then he's going to go and have a chat with them and come back. And Steve and James feel like I overshared.
What did you tell him?
Nothing that's like critical, but probably a bit too much of the story in their opinion in regards to what we know.
What we wanted to do was we wanted to see what KJ was going to say, right?
Yeah.
Without us telling stuff, but I don't know whether Denzel just didn't know that that's what we wanted to get into. I feel like the rest of us were on the same page.
Maybe not, admittedly, maybe I didn't. No, I am. You know, I do things differently to you guys. If that's the vibe that you were going for, I do apologize in regards to what I said.
But yeah,
but it was as Miguel said, like KJ, he's kind of pointing to this. He said the black stuff on the left side of the spray is what KJ knew before, right? And Denzel sort of blurted it out and just painted the whole picture. So now KJ's got our picture instead of Seaside's picture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he can basically pick
so he
apart
he can now go and pick between the two stories and tell us exactly what we want to hear, pretty much.
We basically can't call him out on the lies because he knows our full picture.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. But at the end of the day, that just leaves us, like, it be what it be, it kind of leaves us in a spot where no matter what they say to us, we won't be able to find out if they're lying, but...
Exactly, yeah, because they now know our side.
At this point, it doesn't really matter, does it? At the end of the day, from my point of view, they've told people, like, they've informed people about where our lab was. They've not told us that people were looking for it, and we know that. So regardless of whether everybody in Seaside knew about it or not.
Some of them did, and they didn't tell us.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't. That's kind of what I was going into it. It doesn't really. I went into this conversation thinking it doesn't really fucking matter what said here, because at the end of the day, what KJ thinks or says doesn't really make any difference. That was my opinion.
So where does that leave us with Seaside? Because in my opinion, we should just cut them all off.
In my opinion, that's where this conversation was going to lead us, as to how snaky have Seaside been, and like, oh bro, I'm so cooked. I can't even string sentences together right now.
No, it's fine.
I was freestyling.
What's it called? Where do you stand with Seaside now? Because they're blatantly snaking us, and you're the only one that has a relationship where you actually care about it with them.
I no longer have a relationship. If it turns out that they have been blatantly lying to me, then obviously it's nice to have people to chill with, whatever, but I'm not into that shit. You know what I mean? That's too far. Especially if they had because they know that directly
doubt they
affects
had
me.
the full picture. I doubt all of them had the full picture, but like we said, John already knew. So
yeah.
So
I understand that conversation might have been a great idea to find out, like, how deep people lied and stuff. I just kind of thought we were under the impression that we already realised it was a shit show.
Yeah, but we did say before the meeting that we didn't want to give away like the fact that we knew exactly. You know what I'm saying?
No, but we didn't.
wanted to keep it light.
We still didn't tell him exactly that we knew. But John had already given that away. You know? Hello, mate.
You say you spoke to Miguel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Miguel's awake right now.
He's awake.
He said he'd call me in 20 minutes.
Yeah. I kind of want to get his 2 cents.
Yeah, we'll meet up with him soon. He's just he's thinking.
Okay.
Where was Miguel's standpoint? Because I know James said you two didn't really agree with what Denzel was saying.
What? He didn't agree with Denzel at all.
Okay, so...
He had to walk out of the block because he said, I'm going to leave before I shoot him, is what he said, and he walked out.
Oh. Yeah. So we really showed our cards.
Yeah. Which is what I was basically about. But I'm gonna be real, I got home to my apartment at like 8 AM and I've been on like 3 hours of sleep, so
yeah, you're just moody.
Situation,
yeah.
No, it's not even that. No matter whether I had all the facts and everything, I'm gonna be able to cook me regardless, bro. I'm gonna be real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's kind of... It sounds like Seaside knew anyway, so... That's
well, Michael Simone wants to have a chat with me about getting to the bottom of this, because they feel like there's people in their gang that haven't been telling the truth.
Can I come to that conversation?
Yeah, can we come to that?
He said he wants it to be a one-on-one, just me and him, but so there's not multiple narratives. But obviously, if that's the case, then I'll have a conversation with you guys before I go in regards to kind of the way you want that conversation to go.
I'm going to be honest. He probably wants to have the one-on-one conversation because he feels like he can manipulate you into... He wants
to have that one-on-one conversation because he knows me probably the most out of everybody in the Mandem.
And he thinks he can pry the most information from you.
Maybe. But at the end of the day, what do you want him to know? What don't you want him to know? Bullshit. Sorry,
Ow.
So, I mean, here's the thing. They already pretty much know everything, right?
I mean,
after that whole conversation, they know pretty much everything,
John
right?
has told them, and John gave away the only thing we didn't want him to know anyway, was the fact that we know who it was. So John has already filled KJ in with that information.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I don't appreciate KJ trying to bluff us on not knowing John told us, because he admitted to it being in the document after the fact, after questioning me, who told you? He admitted to John. He admitted that John put it in the document that he told Miguel that they knew.
Yeah.
And then he had the audacity to say to my face, "Well, who in Seaside? Like, you fucking kidding me?"
No, I think you did say that to him before, or not. I don't know. I don't really know. It's obvious there's some not truth there. You know what I'm saying? But all is, I would say, I think, regardless in the way that we go about, like, around getting to the bottom of it. You know, from my point of view, we're all in the same gang. We're all trying to get to the same, the same goal. So we might all have a bit of different, tactics in the way of doing it. But I still like to think that we've all got each other's back and we'd support each other in doing that.
Yeah, obviously we do need to be on the same page though, if we can.
No, 100. That's why I'm asking. So I'm happy to go and have this conversation because I think there is genuine concern from Seaside that there is people inside that gang that haven't told the command the truth. And I'll be honest, that's kind of what I was trying to stir when I had that last conversation. I was trying to, I know to you.
I'm gonna be honest. You go to that meeting on like in a violent way. You go to it like you need to sort out your man, or there's gonna be issues. Like, we very much know they don't want conflict. They've literally told us to our face they don't want conflict. So we basically tell them you need to get in line, or there'll be an issue. I know that's not great coming from Mandem because we can't really do out to many gangs, but if they don't want it, bro, they don't want it. So
no, Matt, I don't know whether I don't think you would. So we know it's not Seaside that are going for the lab. But
they were aware and they backstabbed you heavy. If Hydra were aware someone will, like, say we didn't have links with Hydra, bro, yeah, with this lab, and they knew someone was coming for us, they would tell us.
Yeah, so that's what That's what. So yeah, in that last conversation, that's what we were trying to get to the bottom of. So basically,
you have to be aggressive. Where you need to confront them.
But yeah, you can't go there on friendly energy, bro.
No,
if
but
you go.
He
Michael
says he thinks
Simone
people are
doesn't-
lying
Michael
and wants to
Simone
talk
doesn't
to you
know
about it.
anything himself. Yeah, he doesn't. He's literally just
I'm
come
not
back
trying to
off
be
an holiday.
funny, but why the fuck is he going to speak to you about issues in his own fucking gang?
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds
I
like
think
a
he
them
wants
problem.
to try and understand the full story.
But he speak to his own boys to figure that out. At the moment, we have just found out they knew people were going for our lab. Fuck them. I'm not trying to be a prick, but fuck them. They've snaked us. John had the audacity last night to tell me about respect and the fact there was a bridge being built between Seaside and Mandem, and then goes and admits to Miguel he knew our lab was being hit by some fucking like haze workers. Fuck them.
So why did we have the conversation with KJ?
Because we wanted to find out if they were going to lie to our fucking face.
And he started off by doing it.
I'm not saying I want to go to war with them, but fuck them. Let them deal with their own issues by themselves.
There's two ways you take that conversation. You take it in get your people in line, or there's going to be issues, or we just completely add the conversation. I know it's not great, bro, and I know it's like messing with your relations with people, but these men have backstabbed us, so they obviously don't care. And I when I say that, the man, like Simone or Michael, whatever his name is, it might not be fully like, he doesn't see the full picture, but it doesn't change. They're gonna back each other at the end of the day, you know.
No, absolutely. I'm gonna back you guys at the end of the day, so that's why I asked. You know, I'm not gonna go off and have secret conversations with members of people that I don't mean anything to me.
If Miguel's vexed already for oversharing, and you're going to that conversation, if you're going into that conversation where Michael wants the full picture, we need Miguel here to lay down the law, what he wants to be said and what he wants not to be said, because he sounds vexed already.
I'm fairly sure he'll say,
don't say anything.
Don't talk to him at all. But
I mean, I can speak to Miguel. You know what I mean? If you want me to have a chat with him.
Well,
he should be ringing me soon. He said 20 minutes, 16 minutes ago, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like, okay, sure, he doesn't know the full picture. He hasn't been around, whatever. But if I wake up and I don't know the full picture, I'm going to speak to my own boys. I'm not going to go speaking to fucking John, for example. You know, it's a kind of a Seaside thing to figure out. It's not like we haven't given them enough fucking info already.
Could go into that meeting not giving him anything and very much be like, what are you going to do about it? Like, are you going to go speak to your boys?
You need to do that, though, at the same time.
I don't have to tell him anything. I could just say, we just need to know why we're being lied to, and which members of the gang are not telling the truth. At the same time, I don't want to go into that conversation if there's going to be
it's a case of, if they're not willing to give us the names of the people that didn't tell the truth, then we're just going to assume it was the whole gang.
22x just
exactly.
resubscribed for
we
18
wouldn't expect
months.
them to do that, would we?
Nicky, you think for 18 months?
I mean, I would say that to them, being honest. If they genuinely didn't know about this and genuinely want to rebuild the bridges between Seaside and Mandem, then they're going to have to give us something here. And that's I don't know if you boys agree, but that's what I think.
They're in the wrong, bro. They have to make the corrections.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. I think that KJ does want to save that relationship. That's the kind of the way I'm looking at it. I know you guys aren't. You think he's just lying. But like I say, there's nothing wrong with having different views on it. I feel like he's actively gone away, and he's actually thinking like, well, is there people in this gang that have not told the truth? And the second in command, you would think that he at least knows what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility.
I feel like to ignore a conversation like that. I don't know. I feel like. I mean, I can ask if you guys can come.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I get you like this guy. You need to throw your deck on the table a little bit. Like, you either tell him we're all coming or we're not coming at all, or like, be a little bit more aggressive with this whole thing, bro. You need to be a lot more direct and tell them how it is, or just don't go at all. The way you word things always comes across in a nice way and doesn't put pressure on people. There needs to be pressure in this situation.
We also don't need to, like, as much as we know that they don't want war, you gotta remember we also don't want war. So we don't need to go into it trying to big dick the fuck out of them. It's all right to put a bit of pressure on.
They ain't gonna war us, bro. They ain't gonna war us.
Yeah, but it's all good and saying that until they do. We would have thought 6 months ago. We would have thought that the Saints wouldn't war us, and then they start, and then they, you know.
But the energy KJ was on when we had that conversation.
I'm not trusting a word out of their fucking mouth right now, Matt.
I'm not gonna lie as well. I think going into that thinking that they're not gonna war us, and that's the only reason for us going in aggressive is, you know, I feel like if we're gonna have the energy, we should go in there thinking if they war us, then fuck it, we'll war them. You know.
I do not trust a single word out of his mouth. Him saying
I
that
agree
they
with
won't
James
go into war.
like 100% there. What he's just said. You know, like. Let's not just go and press them like bad men because we think that we know 100% they're not going to war us. If we're going to go and do that, then let's be prepared for the war.
At the end of the day, bro.
And to be honest, I don't think we are.
At the end of the day, they've disrespected us. We can either not speak to them or be more aggressive. Going there and being all nice and carrying on what it sounds like you've been doing already ain't gonna get us anywhere.
I mean, we don't have to do either of those, though.
I don't think it'll result in a war, but I don't think we should be thinking we're not ready for a war, in my opinion.
I just want a bit of pressure on it. Bro, we don't even need to talk about a war. Just put some pressure on it, bro. Like,
we literally had a meeting like 2 weeks ago saying that we don't want to go into a war. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
and now someone stepped to our meth lab, so...
I'm gonna be honest, like...
If
a war
let's sell
happens,
the
it
fucking meth
happens,
lab
bro.
and turn into civs.
If it happens,
it
it happens, bro. This is a situation where these men have blatantly disrespected...
I agree.
Bro, I can't speak. They've disrespected us to our face, bro. And we're still given the courtesy of not putting pressure on it. It's crazy to me.
I mean, there's different ways to go about shit, though.
We say to them, yeah, you need to find out who it is and let us know, or we're going to blame the whole gang, bro. Like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
My girl's
Doesn't have
texting
to
me,
be
so
put
I'm
that
calling
bluntly.
him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. That's literally all I'm saying. It doesn't have to be put that bluntly.
No, you don't have to pull up and literally
Yo,
Yo, what go on?
what you doing?
I'm just getting caught up from the boys. Do you want to give me your side? Because
Where are you?
Euro side of the block. You want to scoop me?